This story came about in such a strange way. I had just moved to New York about 3 years ago, and my editor called me and said, "Hey, you live in New York now, let's have drinks." And we went and we had drinks and we talked, and she said, "So what are you working on?" And I told her a couple of books that I was working on. One was a picture book that nobody wanted to publish, and the other was a really cool sort of quirky sort of romance. And she said, "Oh, okay, those sounds sort of interesting," but I could tell that she wasn't really interested in them at all. And at the time, I was working on something else that people who read my blog will know about. I call it the book that will kill me, because it's about 1,000 pages long and it's very complicated and strange. And I was deep into a draft of that at the time. And I said, "Oh, and there's this other thing, it's a real killer." And she misheard me. She said, "Wait, are you writing a book about a killer?" And I said, "No, no, not at all." She goes, I thought you were writing a book about a serial killer." And I said, "No, I write books about teenagers." She goes, yeah, I wish somebody would write a book about a teen serial killer." And I thought about this for a minute, and I said, "You want somebody to write a book about a teenager who kills people?" And she thought about that for a second, as if she just realized what she'd said. She said, "Well, maybe not that. Maybe he just knows the killer. Maybe he knows who the killer is." And I thought, that's not for me. That's kind of strange. And I remember I went home after drinks and I called my agent and I said, "Oh, by the way, if any of your other clients have written a book about a teenage serial killer, show it to this editor." And my agent was horrified. She said, "A teen serial killer, that's disgusting." And I went to bed, and this is going to sound hyperbolic and like I'm making it up, but I swear to God, I woke up in the middle of the night around 3 in the morning, sat straight up in bed and went, "His father's a killer." And it was difficult for me because I write books that I want to write, and I don't write books that other people suggest to me generally. So I was a little concerned because I thought, am I just coming up with this because she wants it, or do I really want to do this? And I got out of bed and I went to my computer and sat down and wrote a 5-page outline of the book. And by the time I was done with the outline, I knew everything about the kid, I knew everything about his dad, and I was like, I've got to write this book now. In fact, it's more than one book, it's at least 3 books. I realized I wasn't really giving her exactly what she wanted, and that sort of made me feel a little better about it. I felt like, okay, this is my idea. And I've talked to her about it since, and I said, "Did this scratch the itch? Because you said you wanted a particular kind of book, and this isn't really what you sparked the idea, but this isn't exactly what you wanted." And she goes, no, this is fine. This will do. So I feel good. I feel like we both got what we wanted, but it was very strange for me. And I do remember the next day I sent the proposal to my agent to get her feeling, and she immediately said, "A teen serial killer novel. That's brilliant." And I said, "No, of course, there you go. That's an agent for you."